Okay, so a common question that I get asked when it comes to land investing is how in the world do I afford land? How do I buy it? Where do I get the money in order to buy these properties? You say all these great things about a return on your investment, about making money, about, working the life and living the life you've always dreamed about, but where in the world do you get the money in order to start purchasing the properties? Well, from my research, we'll go over three different methods that I've seen and some that I've used in order to begin purchasing properties so that I can get a return on my investment and make great money. The first method, what I did was whenever I finally decided I wanted to pursue land full time, is I went out and got a home equity line of credit based on the equity that I had in my mortgage. We bought our house, and when we bought it below the current market value, so it gave us some equity in order to be able to have a little bit of built in equity into our home. I was able to, based off of my bank and our agreements, was I was able to take a certain percentage of the equity we have, and I began to be able to use that to invest and use it to buy property. So what I do is every time I find a property that I want, and I get it at the price range that I think I can make some money on it, I take a draw out of my home equity line of credit, and that's very risky, right? That is a very risky move. You have to be willing to take some risk. You don't know if your property is going to sell in 1 month or 6 months or 1 year. You have no idea. So it's a very risky move, but it's worked for me so far. So every time I find that property, I take out my line of credit based off of the amount of the closing costs, so the plus the land. So if it's like $10,000 property plus $1,000 closing costs, I take out 11 grand. The benefit of a home equity line of credit is it's very similar to a credit card. You only, at least in my instance, you only have to pay the interest of what you've taken out. So if I take out $1,000, I pay $100. If I take out 10,000, I pay close to 1,000. Not actually, it's actually close to $160 technically, which is amazing. So it cost me $160 to take out a $10,000 line of credit from my home equity line of credit. So as long as I can afford to pay that and pay all my bills, I'm willing to risk it and wait for a little bit. So what I've done is I'll take out a $10,000 line of credit plus the $1,000 of closing costs, and I'll sit there and make the payments until the property sells. That's one method to afford vacant land. The second method is what people in the industry call other people's money. So you find investors, you find family, friends, people that you know that are willing to go in on an investment with you. That is another very risky option in order to buy and sell land. You have to be willing to find people that are willing to risk their money in order for a future return that you can't really guarantee, right? You have no guarantee that the property is going to sell at any amount for any length of time. You have no idea. But the benefit of that is it could end up not costing you anything, and you split the profits 70-30, 40-60, 50-50. However you decided to do it with your investor, you could buy a piece of property with zero cost to you. That is another option to being able to afford vacant property. The third option, and I kind of combine the first and the third a lot, is you find a piece of property that you think you can make money on. You find it at a very big discount. You find it at $10,000. If it's selling for 40 or 50 in the neighborhood, you're buying it for 10, right? So you find that property for $10,000, you get it under contract. From there, you might set a 90-day closing time frame. So you have 90 days to close on this property if the seller agrees to it. In that 90-day time frame, you are going out and you're finding a buyer. You're finding someone that is willing to buy the property, okay? So you're finding someone that is interested in this property and wants to buy it for 20, 30, whatever you can make money on, ideally. What happens then is you get that property under contract with the buyer from you. Okay, so you have a contract with the seller and you have a contract with the buyer, and you set up what's called a double close. Basically, the buyer from you is bringing in money to the title company to close on the property. And that same day or that same couple of days, your seller is coming in to sell the property. So you have the money lined up on both sides and you're ready to go. Double closes are very common. You have to find attorneys or you have to find title companies that are willing to work on double closes. But those are three ways that you can get into land investing, that you can begin to start making money you never imagined you can make. You could change your whole financial future. Granted, and this is the thing to keep in mind that a lot of the gurus and people out there don't talk about, is that there is substantial risk in doing this, right? If I buy a property and it does not sell, or there's a problem with it after I've bought it, I'm stuck. hopefully, ideally, I've gotten it cheap enough that if I have to sell it, I'll at least, maybe only lose 1,000 or 2,000. I won't lose my shorts, right? So that's the goal when it comes to land investing is you want to find properties cheap, you want to find cheap and easy ways to afford them, and you want to find a buyer quick to get in and out of the property. So land investing is awesome. It comes with a ton of risks, but there are a lot of ways that you can buy and sell vacant land and it not cost you an arm and a leg necessarily. If you like this video, please like and subscribe and share this content so we can start building something. I am looking forward to putting out a lot more content in the coming weeks and months because I think land investing is an amazing way to change your financial history, your financial future, and it's a great option to get out there and start making real cash and stop making other people money that you can be making yourself. Take care.